It's Omar. It's been a long time since I made a video. It is January 24th, 2018, and I wanted to make a video building a watch list for tomorrow. I know I haven't been posting watch lists. I used to do it like every day, and my trading has been sporadic because of just work and a lot of things going on. But I do trade, and sometimes I'll post my entries on Twitter and stuff like that. I kind of correspond with everybody on Twitter. So that's kind of been my base. My situation at work with trading is gotten like it's at DEFCON 5 now because they basically, they put a block. So I can't access any of the brokerage accounts anymore at work, unfortunately. And so it's kind of weird. The building where I'm located, like there is it connects to a Wi-Fi, an open Wi-Fi at another like facility that I could technically kind of log into, but it's not secure, so I'm not comfortable with trading. And if I'm at the mercy of spotty Wi-Fi, if the Wi-Fi goes out, I'm in a position. That's why I closed my Centerpoint account. That's how I had my Centerpoint account. I was using that spotty Wi-Fi that was unsecure with all that money in that account. I was like, no way. So I went back to Thinkorswim, and Thinkorswim got me crazy with all the glitches and everything. So I pulled my money out of it, but I couldn't. And now I can't even access it, even if I wanted to. So I made mobile trade. I don't know. I have to figure out what am I gonna do. But tomorrow I might be able to trade because I might be off site, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade or not. We'll see. So what I wanted to do was build a watch list. I haven't done it in a long time. Just give you a couple of entries because my watch list yesterday was fantastic. Let me go here to Market Watch. These three stocks were on my watch list for yesterday, and I put notes with IMU, GE, and HMNY. These were all like the high of day yesterday. It's very simple strategy. They were all the high of day yesterday, and I just put by the breakouts if they break above these levels, and they all did. They would an opportunity to trade. So I'm gonna make a watch list for tomorrow, and we'll just put a couple of stocks. So basically here, let me do create watch list, and we'll do 125.18. We'll do save, and basically, I basically just look through my stocks through this scan here, and it's just basically a simple scanner. I look for stocks between 20 cents and $40 that have a minimum value of 300,000 shares traded that have been up for 3% for the day. When you click scan, 199 stocks come. I'm not gonna look through 199 stocks in this video. I'll probably look through I'll add like 5, maybe 10 at the most, and then I'll stop. So what I like to do is filter by volume to see what had the most volume on the day. PBR had the most volume, and this stock opened at oops, let me pull this. This stock opened at what was the opening price? It opened at 1260, and it hit a high of 1328, and and then it kind of like pulled off and washed towards the end of the day. Here it was the high 1328, and it kind of came back down to 1274. And then it's kind of been running. So this is what I would do. This would actually be on my watch list for tomorrow because it's a volatile stock. It's had a ton of volume. I don't know what the news is. I don't even need to know what the news is. I mean, generally you should know, but just on the chart setup, I would have it on my watch list. There's a couple of things that I love about the chart. So right now let me put the 1 year. I have a 3-year time frame. Here's the 1 year, 1 day time frame. So right now it's at the highest point it's been, right? So 1320, it's the high, right? It does have a gap to fill below. So my expectation is tomorrow or maybe before the week's over, this will gap down. So this will present a great shorting opportunity. Especially, this is the 50-day moving average, simple moving average, and this is the 200 simple moving average. Especially if it breaks below the 200 simple moving average tomorrow, it'd be probably a really, really good short. What I do is basically, this is why I love Thinkorswim. You don't need to have money to fund the account. What you should do is basically, I know it sounds super simple, but what I do is I would create an alert, right? and then to see the price is marked at or above 1328. Okay, and I would note to say buy the breakout if it holds 1328. So this is something that you gotta know, especially for you rookies. And then hit create, and then what it does, it alerts me. I get an alert on my phone that lets me know that it triggers this. Now let's say tomorrow this thing continues up. Now my expectation, more than likely it's gonna wash, right? But let's say you're watching the stock market opens and it breaks 1328 quickly. Don't buy the breakout. So meaning, as soon as that stock breaks 1328, don't chase it and buy it. What you want to do is you want to see the stock gap above the 1328, and usually what's going to happen, it's going to pull back. And if it holds that 1328 level, now that resistance becomes support. That's when you buy. You don't chase, because what happens is a lot of times these stocks will go and they'll like break out for a few seconds and then they completely crash. You know, they just wash and dump, and then you become a bag holder. You know, so what you want to do is, if it does attempt to break 1328 tomorrow, you're gonna let it go past 1328, and then you want to see it come back and test that 1328 level. If it holds 1328, then it's gonna continue going. And you know, and other people will see, oh man, it's at a new yearly high, and it's gonna continue to move. Now, what I would probably check to see as well is the low of this is 1247. So I would also put another alert at 1247, which is the low of the candle, right? So mark at, or I'm gonna put at or above 1247, because what I want to see is see response to long or short at 1247, because what I want to see is, all right, what I would want to see is if the stock gets down to the low of day, which was that 1247, right? I want to see, right, and look, and that's the clear support level for that morning, right? What you want to see is, all right, is if it breaks below it, you know, then it would present a good short. But it might come back to this point and then make another run, you know, because that happens too. So now you have a clear indicator of those entries. Now you're gonna say, well, Omar, what if let's say it break above 1328, it came back and found the support, now it starts running. You know, you gotta kind of gauge the chart, you know, to kind of, you know, to kind of dictate what, if you want to buy or not. You know, you want to be as close to your entry as possible. That's how you mitigate loss. Okay, so that will be on my watch list for tomorrow, PBR. Okay, next stock up that falls in my criteria with volume is VALE. This thing traded, it's up 3%, not a lot. It is above the 200-day moving average right now. Look, it's getting close. This may present a nice short tomorrow, but what I would do is look, and it has this is the yearly chart, right? Look at this. It has a gap to fill below. The low here is 1284. The high here is 1283. There's really not a gap, I guess. It's a tiny one, but you can see how that's gonna respond. I mean, in theory, I would probably be looking to short this and to see if it's gonna hit that. Now, what you can do, what I would like to see is let me zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, 1345 is the high. I would like to see like what it's gonna do. Is if it reaches that 1345 level, is it gonna reject it and then it's gonna wash, or is it gonna break above? Also, what you can do is you can put an alert at the 1357 level to see, hey, you know, more than likely it's not gonna get back there, but let's assume that it does, because right now it's like kind of bouncing on that 50-day moving average. What I would do, the real safe bet is to say, okay, I would put an alert to just say 1345 buy breakout if holds 1345 level. Or if it doesn't break out, then you definitely would short it. Okay, that to me is like the safer play, the safest play. Me, I know just because I'm good with like technical analysis that I would probably think this is gonna pull back, and I would be looking to short it tomorrow. I'm not gonna put on my watch list. Let's look at a couple of others. MDR. MDR is a stock that is up 14% on the day. 29 million shares traded. This thing's at that whole number level, 902. And look, it has a gap to fill below here. The high here is 799. The low here is 817. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow is at the open this thing washes and takes its profit. Now, also, so you have two things going for it. It also is at its yearly high. So what I would do is I would create two alerts, okay, to say, all right, so create alert, and I would say, you know, buy breakout if holds, you know, 902. All right. Now, remember, so if tomorrow, let's say pre-market, there's no trading on this stock, and the market opens and it starts trading, and if it breaks that 902, remember, you don't want to break it right at that 902 level. You want it to break above it. You want to see it retest and hold so that you have a clear support level, and then you buy. All right. Now, if it breaks below it, more than likely it's gonna break down. Okay. Because it has a gap to fill below. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. And what you could do is you could look at the chart history. So you look at over the year, you say, hey, when's the last time did it? Look, it did have this gap move where on October 31st, it hit a hit of 666. It closed at 662, and the next day it opened up at 694, and it closed at 691. It took a while to get back there. Now here's where it filled the gap back in December. So you know it doesn't show that it has a history right now. Me looking at the chart, like the chart, like the next day it fills the gap below, but it did fill the gap eventually, and it does have a couple of these other times. And see, eventually it fills the gap below. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Obviously, nobody does. But I'd be looking to see if it's going to hold this level. If it doesn't, then it'd probably be a great short. So I'm going to put it on the watch list. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Okay. Next up, POTN. POTN is another one of these stocks. You know, it's just been running wild. Look at this. It's been, you know, it kind of bounced off the 50-day, and it's just been trending up. It had a red day yesterday. It had a green day today. You know, but it does have a lot of volume. If you look here, this is, let me pull up the 5-day, 5-minute chart so we can see this was at 23 cents 5 days ago. It hit 61. I mean, it pulled back, and this is my Fibonacci. You can look how crazy Fibonacci is. It hit the 61 cent mark. It retraced exactly 61%, which is that 37 level, and now it's running again. Now, what I would do is, this is the stock because it's moving. Doesn't seem, I mean, this thing was 0.6 cents. I mean, wow, there's people probably got rich off this stock. Now, I don't know nothing about the, you know, what the stock it is. I don't know what it is. What's this? Pot stock. That's why pot stocks are running crazy. So this has the potential to keep going just because of that. So what I would do is, right, let's do what we talked about here. 61 cents is the high, right? So we want to create a watch list. Okay, and we want to use that high of day, which is to see if it's gonna hold, right? So what I would do is I would create an alert. All right, so we're gonna say, okay, mark is at or above 61, and you could, if you want, you just to say, you can use 60 just to catch it sooner. I mean, I've been using the exact number. You can always use like 1 or 2 cents below. You could say, you know, buy the breakout if holds 61 cent. All right, so now we have a, oops, I could just, where is it, cancel, replace. Let's do that, 61, oops. All right. I put 2 alerts, I just need 1. All right, there we go. So, and we'll put this on the watch list. This thing keeps running. Pot is going crazy. So maybe tomorrow it'll present something. So far we got 3 stocks. All right. I'm going to stop at like 6, even though I may continue because I don't want to make this like an all day thing. Let's continue on. PB RA. Now this is another stock that is running. It's at that 1245. Look, it has a gap to fill below. You know, to me, tomorrow this would probably present a great shorting opportunity. Again, you know, I would put an alert at that high, a 1245, see if it's going to test it. You know, I would also put an alert on a situation like this at the low, which is 1181, to see where it's going to fall. Okay, I know one stock that's been running. Let me see what's that stock. I don't know why it's not coming up here. There was a stock today that after hours it went crazy. I don't know where it is, but all right, well, forget about that. Let's look at this stock here. So I mean, this thing is moving. I mean, it's been on an upward trend. I don't know what type of stock. What is this? Oh, this is that Brazilian stock. I've traded this stock before. Yeah, it's that oil gas stock. These stocks, they're pretty volatile, man. They you know, if you can see here, you know, when it moves, I mean, it moves really, really nicely. Now, what I would do is, you know, let's do that. Let's create the two alerts. So I'm gonna create an alert at 1245. We'll put it buy breakout if holds. All right, and then we also want to create another one at that low. So the low is 1181. So I am going to create another alert. All right, long or short at 1181. Okay, and I just wrote that because what I want to see is it gonna, and you notice here 1181, look, this is where the consolidation happened and then it ran. You know, and you can see this is the Fibonacci that I used, the 38, this is the 50, this is the 61. It kind of consolidated all, and then look, it broke above it, and it broke above the 50 and 200 day moving average, and then it just kind of rode the 50 simple 50 moving average. Look at that, really nice and easy. So what we want to see is it, because it may come back here and then bounce and then run again, or it may break below it. So those are two clear entries of where you would want to get the trade, and that's the key, guys, between good traders and bad traders. Like, good traders buy close to their entries. They don't like force trades, and you know, which means you trade less. But when you trade with a plan and you know what you're doing, your probability of having a profitable trade increases. So, you know, there's another OHGI. Yeah, I saw this moving pre-market, and look at this. This thing just hit that high of 303 and completely tanked. And if you're looking at the stock, you know, it broke below all the Fibonacci levels, at least the three main ones. Basically, what happens is when a stock gaps up, see, it has the trend here. It started at 157 to 303. That's how you figure the Fibonacci. So you take the low point to the high point, or the high point to the low point over a 2-day period, and then that's how the Fibonacci is created. You know, so you see, I have a Fibonacci. And then what happens is this is people buying, and then the retracement is people taking profit. So in theory, the way this supposedly works is that after the 61%, that means people took pretty much all their profit, and this is a reflection, and the trend is over. And then these are like new buyers, supposedly, if it keeps going up. And you can see now it's back at that 61% retracement. I would be looking to see what it's going to do tomorrow. If it's going to hold that 213 level, it'd be a potential buy. I mean, the way you really should do it is you would put, because this is so high up, you could in theory put an alert here. But me personally, I would put the alert at the lower day and see if it holds. That would be, to me, the best sort of entry. If it dipped back down and held that again, then you can buy it based off that support level to see if it bounces. I'm not gonna put on the watch list, but that's kind of how you gotta look at it. Those are the clear entries. CERS. This is a stock. Look at this. It got up to $6 pre-market and then just completely washed. Now, to show you how pretty cool Fibonacci is, right? So remember, you take the low point to the high point, right? So low to the high, because this is where the trend is, right? Look what happens, right? So pre-market, it runs all the way to 615. It starts retracing, right? Pre-market, it gets all the way back, and look where it touched. 61.8 exactly, 488. What was the low here? 488, and then it bounced So this is all the short sellers covering. I mean, shorting, and then they cover here, and then you had that rip. So this is like a perfect scenario for Fibonacci. That's to tell you how amazing Fibonacci is. All right. And me, I would have watched this had I had an opportunity. I would have bought it here, you know, because I would have saw that volume coming in. You could see the trend reversal taking place, and you just risk off that 61. Now it's not always that accurate, but a lot of times it's very, very accurate. And this is the 200 SMA, so it's still below it. So that's telling you it's still pretty bearish on the 1 minute. I love to use it on the 1 minute for shorting. It's fantastic. And if you notice, look what happens. It's holding that 61% retracement. It's not getting below it. So what I would be doing is I'm gonna create an alert. Let's see where it's currently now at that 487 level. Okay, so I would be looking to see, you know, what is it gonna do? Is it gonna hold that 487, 488 level to buy potentially? So I would say I would look at this to see if it's gonna hold that 488 level. So I would just, if you wanted to, you can create an alert saying buy if holds support of 488, because this is where you know that bounce happened. Okay, and I'll put it on here because you might get another run. We'll see. I'm gonna change this filter and just filter by the highest percentage, because I know there was a stock that everybody was talking about on Twitter that was moving after hours. I don't know why. I think it was ITUS. Yeah, it's ITUS. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to make sure to put this on the watch list. Now, this is squeezing everyone. I don't know why this is moving the way it's moving, but in theory, because I said I just wanted to put about 5 or 6 stocks. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more, but at least you get the gist of it. Because there's so many plays. I mean, it's insane. But what I would be doing is, right, first you gotta check the yearly, right, to see if it has, you know, what it's done over the year, and you can see it's kind of at that key support level over the year, which is the high here, which was 550. It broke it, so it's at 566. So it's at a new yearly high. So what are we gonna do, guys? Tomorrow we're gonna see. Now, probably pre-market, this will break it. But what you want to do is, no matter wherever the high is before the market opens, that's where you want to put your trend line or your alert. Okay, so right now it's 550, 566. So, you know, buy breakout if it holds 566, right? So remember, guys, you don't buy it as it breaks out. You let it break. You want to see it retrace back to that 566 level. And, you know, if it holds it, then you know it's a clear breakout that you can buy. Now, you're going to say, well, Omar, what if it breaks out and just keeps going? Then you missed it. But who cares? You know, your risk reward is everything in trading. You know, that's going to happen sometimes. I mean, sometimes you'll buy it and, you know, you'll risk it and it works in your favor. But if you follow my strategy, it's a lot safer and you'll win a whole lot more. So we're gonna put ITUS on the watch list. Oh, let me go back to that too. I'm sorry, guys. So let me go back to that stock. All right, now what you also want to do is you want to see what's the clear support level. Right now, the clear support level seems to be 530. What is this? Low 540. It got down to 538. So I would also put an alert at that 538, 537 level. Yeah, because it looks like right here it's 538. Yep, 538 seems to be the support level at this moment. So I would put create an alert. Yeah, to say at or below, and say, you know, if holds support buy, if breaks below short. You know, and you can short it, you know, if it breaks this key level, because you might get another dip all the way down to the next support level, which is right around here, which would be like at that 507 mark. You know, obviously this is the play of the evening. This is going to move pre-market tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's more likely going to break that 566 and squeeze shorts even further. I know shorts that are probably trying to, you know, they probably were trying to short this here. They got squeezed out. Some of them probably held and blew up. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be interesting to see. So these are the two marks. So these are them. Now, honestly, guys, there's so many plays. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's insane the amount of plays. Look, here's another opportunity. Here's a SECO. Like, I'm looking at the yearly. The high 1475. Right now it's at 1445. What I would do then is put an alert, see if it breaks the 1445. If it holds, and you know, you buy it, and then you want to watch that 1475 mark, because I would set it there. If it holds there, it doesn't break there, then you know, then you would sell and then short it. You know, so you know, it's pretty much that simple. You know, and there's a lot of plays here, guys. There's a lot of plays for you to look at and buy. I know GE was a was in play today, so guess there's a, you know, there's a lot of stocks. There's a lot of stocks. So you know, keep looking, see what works, see what you find. I just wanted to give you some insight on like how I build my watch list. You know, I would be looking at these stocks for sure tomorrow. There's so many more. And there may be even better ones. I just didn't want to make this like an hour video. All right. So hope you find this useful. Like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Twitter, watchotrade on my YouTube channel. And you know, let me know like if you want more of these videos. I'll try to do more after February evening, guys.